Okay, question 7. Initializing a one-dimensional array of Boolean values to the value false. And this is a standard thing that the exam board expect you to be able to do. Initializing, setting initial values. So initializing, remember, is setting a starting value that we know. Okay, so if you wanted to create a tally of people's wages for some reason, you would set the initial value to 0, so you would initialize the tally to 0, and then you could add on each successive wage and then get an actual number. If you didn't reset to 0, you didn't initialize, you might end up with some bogus number. Okay, so it's very important. In most languages, they create default values for you. Okay, Python's, well, we'll look at the Python one in a minute, but the NumPy library does something interesting when you create arrays. Okay, as we've seen in class. Okay, so in pseudocode, quite straightforward. If you know how big your array is, you can use a for loop, because that's what for loops are really good at. Okay, this assumes that we've got an array that starts with the first item at position 1, and there are 10 of them. Okay, so we say, okay, for n equals 1 to 10, remember the way a for loop works, n will be 1 the first time around the loop, then it'll be 2, then it'll be 3, 4, all the way up to the stop value, which is 10. Okay, and I said that we can use the value of the control variable, the loop variable, to do stuff. And this is one of the great things that for loops are used for, working with arrays. So we can use this. Remember what an array is. It's a consecutive set of memory locations storing the same data type that can be referred to with a single name and an index. So array is the name of the array, of the data structure that's holding all these numbers, all these Boolean values, sorry, and we just put the value n, which says, well, look at what n is now. That position in the array, set it to false. So the first time through, position 1 will be set to false. The next time around the loop, position 2 will be set to false. Then n will be 3, so position 3 will be set to false, and so on. So eventually we'll visit all 10 locations and set them all to false. Now in Python, a little bit trickier, because there is no built-in array system in Python. Python does lists, which aren't, strictly speaking, the same as that. You'll see this in the second year. But we can use the NumPy library. So we assume we've got this command at the top of our Python file. So we say from NumPy import ndArray. So then we create the array first. So we get an array. So this is create a 1D array of booleans. Okay, so I'll give it a name that we want to refer to it as, the identifier array. We use the ndArray method, and we say, okay, create me a shape. Shape is how we set the size of it. So if we just put a single value, we get a one-dimensional array. Remember, if we want a 2D one, we go 10, 10. That would give us a 10 by 10 grid. And then the D type is used to set the data type. Sensible name, D type. So this is bool, as in boolean. Okay, and then the rest of it is identical to the pseudocode, really. So we use the range function to give us a set of numbers. Now Python uses 0 reference arrays, so the first item is at 0. So the range function is perfect for this, and it's the way it's tailored. So if we just say range 10, it'll give us the values 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 9. Okay, so each time around the loop, n goes up by 1. So array n refers to each successive element. Because they're in consecutive memory locations, this is really efficient. Okay, and that's really basically it.